Hello and welcome to Movie Playback. Today we're reviewing an Amazon Prime action thriller post-apocalyptic movie, The Tomorrow War. Watch out, spoilers ahead, and look for the climax and let us know in the comments. The movie starts off with Dan Forrester in shock, not knowing what happened to him. As he is about to figure out, he sees himself free falling from the sky in what appears to be a post-apocalyptic world. As he's about to hit the ground, he is inches away and jumps right in a swimming pool along with others jumping on top of him. He finally comes out of the pool, still in shock, horrified, looking at others dying from hitting the ground. The scene changes, and we are now several years earlier. It is December 2022. A biology teacher and former Green Beret, Dan Forrester, fails to get a job at the Army Research Laboratory. He is now at home enjoying a gathering of friends and family members, watching the live broadcast of Qatar World Cup 2022. During the broadcast of the World Cup, a strange phenomenon takes place where around 15 to 20 armed soldiers appear from a giant explosion. These soldiers are from the year 2051, 30 years into the future. They are there to warn them that humanity is on the brink of extinction due to a war with alien invaders referred to as the White Spikes. If no action is taken, within 11 months the entire human race will be wiped out from the face of the earth. In November, across the world unite against their one single enemy, as each country rushes to prepare its citizens and civilians to fight the war. Dan is among many civilians being prepared. In this scene, we see him being prepared for the war as the military is conducting several lab tests and preparing him to wear a draft machine on his arm that tracks his activities, location, and vitals. The military sees his birth and death certificates, predicting how he will die in the future. Unsatisfied with the presence of the draft machine on his gun, he goes to visit his father, an old man specializing in the repairs and reverse engineering of planes and aircrafts. Dan's father left him and his mother after he returned from the Vietnam War because he felt it was dangerous to remain with them. Angry, Dan says he does not want his father's help and promptly leaves. Before going to the military area, Dan has one last meeting with his family, including his daughter Muri. He assures her he'll be back as he's going to some really important work for 1 week, but his daughter rather spills the beans, saying that he's going to fight the war and will not be back. Sad and heartbroken, he does not say anything and proceeds to embrace her daughter. In the next scene, we see Dan along with hundreds if not thousands of civilians entering a specialized military area for training to fight the aliens. The commander-in-chief alongside the Secretary of the US Department of Justice briefed the newly recruited civilians on their importance of fighting a vital war in the future. After the training, the crew, heavily armed and well-trained, is now sent into the future to the Miami beach via a wormhole device called the Jump Link. But in the process of doing so, they encounter an error. It is this error resulting in all hell being broke loose, because in the next scene we see them free falling from the sky, hitting various parts of ground. As such, most of them started dying. Dan receives a contact from the military in the future and confirms his presence alongside a few survivors. With the city already lost, their commander orders the draftees to rescue nearby lab personnel before the area is sterilized. They are shared the location of the lab and make their way to it. On their way, they discover that the lab building has been completely destroyed from the outside, as they could encounter the White Spikes at any moment. Carefully, they enter the lab and find that all lab personnel are already dead, but are successful in recovering their research. One of the dead White Spikes could also be found in a room. On their way exiting from the lab, they encounter one of the White Spikes lurking at the top of the stairs, secretly watching their activities. An intense fight scene takes place. One by one, all of the team members are killed except Dan, Charlie, and battle-hardened draftee Dorian, who is now on his third deployment, surviving the White Spikes and the bombing. Although safe in bombing but unconscious, Dan wakes up in a military encampment in the Dominican Republic. He reports to his commander, Colonel Forrester, who he discovers is his grown daughter Muri. Muri tells Dan that they have already developed a toxin that kills the male White Spikes, but does not kill the females, who are actually rarer and far more dangerous of the species. Muri wants Dan to help her capture a female White Spike so that they can use her to formulate a toxin that will kill the females as well. They all prepare for the journey in helicopters toward the place where the female is laying her eggs. Muri, along with the teammates, fight off in an intense battle with the White Spike, who does not give up easily. She is already attacking them from various angles, and countering her attacks is proving to be extremely difficult. They trap and encase the female only to have hundreds of males descend on their position. As the helicopter with the female lifts off, Dan and Murray escape to a beach while fighting with their armored vehicle, all the male white spikes. Upon reaching the beach, they radio for the rescue. Murray reveals to Dan that after he didn't get the research center job, he became dissatisfied with his life and abandoned his family. He also later died in a car crash in 2030. Dan, Murray, and the female white spike are transported to a fortified oil rig close to Port Nelson, where the jump link is now located. Murray creates a toxin that can kill the female white spikes, but with the future unable to mass produce it, she makes Dan promise to take it back with him. While they're having this conversation, they hear a loud burst and find out that their location has been compromised. They get out to see the white spikes reaching to save their female and attacking the base facility in full force. The base is attacked and overrun. Murray, Dan, and the entire army fight. Murray, Dan, and the entire army fight them but unable to save their base. Murray is heavily injured in the process by the attack. One of the white spikes grabs her from the leg, whereas Dan tries to jump and save her. In the meantime, the jump link reactivates and he's sent back to the present. The jump link is destroyed shortly after his return, which the world interprets as a sign that the future war is lost. Dan meets his wife and both embrace each other. Her wife does not see the draft on his hand. Both get to home, where Dan sees a young daughter, Murray. He is shocked and emotional knowing that Murray is going to die in the future. While Dan brainstorms with his wife, they deduce that the white spikes did not arrive on Earth in 2048, but much earlier. Dan consults with Charlie and Martin, a high school student with an interest in volcanoes, who helps them figure out that the white spikes have likely been on Earth since at least the 946 millennium eruption, and that global warming, melting the ice caps, had allowed them to emerge from beneath. After the US Defense Secretary declines to use military resources to prove the theory, Dan leads a mission to Russia with Charlie, Dorian, James, and a number of stranded future soldiers. The team finds a crashed alien ship buried beneath a glacier, and they debate telling the world about the problem. But at the end, they decide to end the threat themselves. Once inside, the team injects 5 of the dormant white spikes with the toxin. This successfully kills them but wakes the rest of the colony, and most of the team gets killed. Dorian, terminally ill with cancer and wanting to die on his own terms, stays behind to blow up the ship with C4, killing all but one of the white spikes, a female who escapes. Dan and his father hunt and kill the female. They and Charlie are the team's only 2 survivors. Knowing that the war is averted and that humanity is saved, Dan brings his father home to meet his wife and daughter, determined not to make the same mistakes that Murray had warned them about the future. How did you like the movie review? Go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any important update and notification. Have a great day and we'll see you around.